Right, good evening to you. Viewers, ministers, join us live right now. Hoping that people can hear and see me. I'm just adjusting one small thing here on my camera that I'm hoping that then people should be able to see me over there. How do I make this become solo view? Oh, yes, there we are. 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 Can people hear me? Can you hear me over there? Just type it in the comment box. Let me know. Please, those who are on video, I need you to tell me if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh, over there. Just type it in the comment box, please. I just need to know if people can hear me. Just as I start. Right. Good evening, folks. Why is okay? Someone is saying they can hear me. Okay, thank you very much. Why is Beatrice Mtetwa a celebrated human rights lawyer, an award-winning human rights lawyer, covering up for Auxillia Mnangagwa? Well, Zimbabweans, I'm going to be very quick here. And as some of you might have already seen on various platforms, I have had an encounter that has been nothing but disturbing in my work of exposing Emerson Mnangagwa's wife, Auxilia Mnangagwa. And you have seen, I have spent 6 years ever since I noticed that Constantino Chiwenga's wife is being used by Emerson Mnangagwa. Excuse me, I made a mistake there. When I discovered, I made a very, very wrong mistake, was horrible mistake there. When I discovered that Auxilia Mnangagwa and her husband Emerson have ganged up to create a case that they are hoarding, Varku Hoda Mosha, that they would then they want to use against Constantino Chiwenga. And also when I noticed that Constantino Chiwenga's wife, Mary, was being unfairly treated, I launched out to investigate the truth. There are always theories, hear me, Zimbabweans, where people are accused. I mean, if you're watching right now and listening to me on Spaces, you can tell me that you have been accused. Some of you have been accused of being CIO. Some of you have been accused of being a murderer. You've been accused of sleeping with someone when you didn't, or stealing something when you didn't. And some of those lies actually ran through. They even outlived a very long time. They even went on for 2-3 years. And you are being accused of being, let's say, a CIO, of being a murderer. And so I wanted to know the truth because, from my background, it's so easy for us to use the pen so that we make money with a story because the story sounds so truthful. So I wanted to know what really is this. So that is when, folks, I contacted a lot of people. And that is when I also contacted the very, very sources behind this. I didn't go around in circles. It's very easy to go around in circles. You go through friends, through relatives, and you want to hear the backstory. It can help, but it's always best to start with the primary sources of this story. But quickly, folks, I'm going to announce here, dear Miss Beatrice, Beatrice, I don't know how you folks would pronounce it, her name, Beatrice Mtetwa. I'm forced to go public today. Today is Wednesday. 5 days have gone past now. Ever since I received a phone call, I was on the other line, Miss Beatrice Mtetwa, while you were contacting Mary Chiwenga's family. And Mary was in bed, Agafuga Magumbeze. She was literally in bed crying. And the scene was not pleasant. I'm going to put the picture here so that people can see. This was the scene on Saturday, and this is what I was seeing on video. The picture that you are seeing here, fellow Zimbabweans, right here. So Mary was in that position. Achichema akadaiso. and I'm watching on live on my video call, and I'm being told by and Beatrice Mtetwa is on the other line, and she is instructing Mary Chiwenga's family via both text and phone call that they must tell me to delete my call record or recording that I'd made with Mary Chiwenga that exposes Auxillia Mnangagwa. And it's very, very, I must say, very touching when you see a victim, Arma Gumbeze. You then feel guilty. How would you feel? You see Mary like that. Then you start to think, oh my God, I must have caused this. Let me just rush to go and delete. But quickly, you need to hear what is going on here. My phone call that I made to Mary Chiwenga after over 3 years of trying hard to try and get her, a very long time to try and get this. Since I had my last video call with Auxillia Mnangagwa, the purpose was to investigate Auxillia Mnangagwa, her dark operations that she is currently doing right now since end of December, to try and trick Mary Chiwenga so that she can accuse, I made a mistake, that she can accuse the vice president, her ex-husband. And then what Auxilia and Emerson set out to do will become successful. So that was the whole point. And Zimbabweans, I'm deeply disturbed. To you, my Mtetwa, someone like you, I've always held you in respect because you're someone I've always seen. I've seen you on video. I've seen you many times court records and the like. You're held, and yet what I don't understand is how you reduced Mary to tears after you called her family and threatened to disconnect your legal services simply because she answered my call after the ruling party and government ruling party spokesman, Chris Muchangwa, had exploited her name for financial gain and political advantage. Why not simply seize your services without inflicting additional harm on her? Why don't you just stop? Naimai Mtetwa. Modi kungosiya. Musingamutretene. Munongodzima. Ndimi lawyer rega rasara here muZimbabwe. Mai Mtetwa. Are you the only lawyer that you have to phone Mary and threaten her family, cause so much turmoil in Mary Chiwenga's family that you are going to switch the light off, you're going to leave them in darkness as if you are the only lawyer? Why do you do that? And yet you've got awards for representing people like Mary. Why do you do that? Why don't you just switch off? Ingoinda kanai, Beatrice Mtetwa. Just go. Why do you cause so much hurt on Mary? And I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to make this public because I respect lawyers. Lawyers play a vital part in the community. And there are a lot of things that you have done well, my Muteta, that are notable. But what I don't understand is why you seem to be protecting Auxilia. You don't want Auxilia to be exposed. Why? You saw my work. You know why I am here. You saw what I did on Gold Mafia. All that was to expose Auxilia and her husband, Emerson, and the other gold mafias. So when you see Simba Chikanza, you know that Simba Chikanza is not a joker. He's not a gossiper. He is there to expose real wrongdoing. And you know why I am calling Mary and doing this. On that day, when Chris Muchangwa spread that voice note through this Hubert Angel Shepherd Bushiri character called Maynard Manyoa, this gossiper. It was your role, it's the role of any lawyer, even those who are not hired, to contact Chris Mutsvangwa and confront him that he knows, he seems to know that a citizen has been decapitated. And as a government spokesman, the ruling party spokesman of a government that is being run by his office, he must be held to account. And that is what you, Beatrice, should have done on that day. It is your role, not my role. I didn't go to law school. It is your role, and you're being paid, not small money, not $5, to represent Mary. You should have written a letter or a phone or something or confronted Chris Mutsvangwa, because you know that Mary cannot speak for herself. It is your role, Beatrice, to do that. And if you can't do that now, after failing to do that, you are now contacting her family to threaten them, to switch their lights off, cause so much turmoil. Mother and father and sisters and brothers and sisters who have seen their own loved one achiora mawoko like that, and you want to make them feel, you seem to be enjoying to see them feel the pain of a lawyer switching their lights off on them. Why do you expect Mary to behave smarter than Auxillia Mnangagwa? You know that it is me who contacted Mary, not the other way around. Mary ana kundifonera. Unozviziva yo Beatrice, why are you causing hurt on Mary? You know that it is me. The same way I contacted Auxilia, the same way I contacted the gold mafia, is the same way that I contacted Mary on Saturday. You know that yourself. And you want Mary to be someone who doesn't have a hand, an arm, and a leg. You want her to behave smarter than Auxilia, smarter than the gold mafia. And now you are threatening Mary after taking so much money, over 100,000. We will know. We shall count those dollars that you've been paid. And now you're threatening her because she picked up my phone call. When you know a lot of people, I have managed, I have gotten, Zimbachikanza gets an interview from anyone. You know that very few people have managed to do what you are demanding, someone who is a crippled. A mother like you, Beatrice, who has not seen her kids for over 6 years. You are expecting her to be some lady perfect. You want her to behave smarter than CIO officers. Zimbabweans tag Beatrice Mtetwa on this. She must answer. The world must know if you received money from Mnangagwa, so that both of you can build this case to portray Chiwenga like a demon. Let it shall be known. And if not, Beatrice, then speak, address the Zimbabweans. Because very soon, people, the public are not going to trust you. Because as a lawyer, you hold a lot of information about their lives. You can betray anyone. You can receive money. People know that. People are not fools, Beatrice. They know that a lawyer can get double, triple money from enemies to destroy their own client. It's a well-known practice. So very soon, people are going to be checking you, auditing you, your safeguards on Mary. I must stress, I've never been in competition with you. I've actually, for 6 years, I've actually been there to strengthen your legal work. I have done some investigatives against the abusers. My video that I exposed Nyarai Bwanya, and I gave you the video, I gave you the transcript. You never used it. Not that you have to use my work in court. I'm not saying you should, I can't dictate. But you never discussed it with your client. I asked her per weekend, ndakamubvunza Mary ndakati ko video rangu irero ranyarai Bwanya irero randaka spend so much time investigating Nyarai Bwanya and her false accusations against Mary Chiwenga, and I thoroughly exposed her on live camera. Did your lawyer contact you when you were unwell and you couldn't go on the phone? There was a time when Mary was too unwell that she couldn't even be on the phone. And that is when I confronted Nyarai Bwanya 2 years ago. Did your lawyer contact you? And she told me, I don't even know that. I sent her the live video, I sent her the transcript. She was shocked that I did all this for her to her advantage. She was shocked. Mary was shocked that you, Beatrice, as a lawyer, never cared to show your own client investigated evidence that I gave you that could have helped in your cases to show cause that Mary is being unfairly treated by Emerson Mnangagwa, who controls the courts, who boasts of controlling the courts, and is now using this whole scenario to accuse his deputy, Constantino Chiwenga. Which side are you, Beatrice? Where do you sit? Okay, there's nothing wrong. Maybe I guess you received double, triple, quadruple money from left, right, and center characters. But your morality, maybe you were put in a corner and you received this money so that you would compromise Constantino Chiwenga's, help to compromise Constantino Chiwenga's image. Beatrice Mtetwa, at least have some humanity. Show commitment to the truth, Beatrice. You didn't go to law school to facilitate lies, to help Manyepo lies to be assembled against several people. Mary, her husband, Constantino. Had it been for what I did, that video call yandakaita muso Saturday yaiya, where I used my own investigatory tools that I've learned over the years, Zimbabweans would not have known that Auxillia has been contacting Mary. Iwewe, you Beatrice, you know this. Because you talk to Mary, you see everything, you don't tell me that you don't know it. I don't believe. Maybe you don't. And if you don't, why do you want me to delete my interview, my video with Mary? That you are now saying, hey Mary, you're now doing interviews with Zimbabwe Cancer, so I'm now disconnecting. Yes, I called her on video. You can call my video call an interview, you can call it anything. Yes, I did, but it was for safeguarding. It's to safeguard her life, because I saw Chris Muchangwa trying to use Mary Mubaiwa's suffering for political gain to damage Constantino Chiwenga. And I said, look, I might not be a favorite of Constantino Chiwenga, but it's my role to investigate the truth. The role that I played is what you, Beatrice, with the money that you receive, with the awards and the flushing colors that you receive internationally as a human rights lawyer, you, Beatrice, should have done. I don't receive money for this. DAP Mary, what money? This is me just helping community. I did all this for Mary. I've done it for the Zimbabwean people, for them to know the truth about what Emerson is doing to Constantino Chiwenga. What are you doing, Beatrice, to help Zimbabweans know who leads them and what they're doing? Urkuitei, Beatrice. I might not be a lawyer. Of course, I'm not a lawyer. But, the services Zimbabweans that Mary is receiving from me, this is what I've learned from managing and running risk management systems in various insurance companies, where the little bit that I got there, skills and tools and the like, that I managed here to just obtain, and that most lawyers have. These are skills that lawyers have, the investigatory tools that I am now giving to not just Mary, but to the Zimbabwean people in the multitudes, millions of people that I'm serving, even beyond Zimbabwe. What I've done for the Zambians, for instance, that's a risk management. You're looking at, if you see a risk, if you see there is danger to life, your primary occupation is to expose that danger to life. You don't have to be a journalist. You can be anything. You can be someone who aruchaira panze apo. So quickly, why did you not inform Mary that the courts are powerless on a case? We work with lawyers. I've got some journalists here. These, they will tell you, they are my lawyers. They will tell their clients, this case. No, this case is difficult. Now, this case is it's not going to work in court. So let's do it this way. Let's go and contact my journalists. There are lawyers who do that, and there are some lawyers here who can testify. But why is it that Beatrice does not want the truth to be published, to be known? She wants to publish the things that are generated from these courts that Mnangagwa control. That is what she seems to be, and especially on Mary, who has not seen her kids for 6 years. Furthermore, why is it that you expect Mary to submit to your authority, and by extension to her oppressors, as a condition to earn your so-called permanent stay of prosecution? What you are telling her that, oh, I'm after giving her permanent stay of prosecution. What is that? What is that? You want all that to be done? There's a bit of noise. I apologize. I apologize for the. I think it's a firearm. It should be gone shortly. My apologies. My apologies. I think it's gone now. Yeah. Who do you serve? Who do you serve, Beatrice? Yes, Mary met me via phone. And your friend and client, Hopo Chingono, also went on to meet the Minister of Defense to corrupt the Minister of Defense and alter his decision making for Mnangagwa's scheme of discrediting Vice President Chiwenga. How come you never threatened Hopewell, who is also your client, with disconnection of services, when he went on to meet the Minister of Defense to advise him that Mary herself and other civic society victims must be hunted down in order to avoid tension? I'm using the exact words that your friend and the client, Hopo Chingono, used, and that he has even admitted to doing on Mary and other civic society victims. Is this your version of fairness, Beatrice? You are threatening to disconnect Mary, and yet you won't disconnect Hopewell. who advised the Ministry of Defense to attack the very same Mary and other civic society victims. Hmm? What is that? What is that, Beatrice? Huh? Oh, it's going to go down in history. The truth is going to go down in history. People should know this. I publish, and I don't care even if you were my relative, Beatrice, or my friend. You were actually my favorite lawyer. Many times I used to think, oh my word, Beatrice. But I'm shocked by how you have treated Mary while I am doing what you should be doing for no payment at all. This video of Mary in tears after your threat to disconnect services continues to haunt me. And I've put it there. I'm putting it out there. Ama Zimbabweans, you need to know who Beatrice Mtetwa is in real life. If she is not, she must fix this. I'm not there to smear or damage anyone's reputation. But this is an incident that is ongoing right now. These are the things that are hidden, that happen in courts, and that these lawyers, some of these lawyers, don't tell you. This is injustice, which she herself, Beatrice, is behind. If she is not, why is she doing this? Why is she tormenting Mary? Why doesn't she just disconnect Mary's case quietly? And she wants to disconnect Mary's case, and she won't disconnect Hopo Chingono's case. Also, she has never done that. She's never disconnected representing the representations of Hopo Chingono, who corrupted the Ministry of Defense, who corrupted the army to go after the very same Mary and other civic society victims. What type of a lawyer are you, Beatrice? The things that I'm saying here, these are factual. What is it that you don't deny? I'll pull up the records here. I will show. I think maybe I also need to pull up that statement by Hopo Chingono, that you know it, Beatrice, but you close your eyes. The same way you close your eyes from the human rights abuses that are happening in your country or your home country, Swaziland, or wherever it is that you come from, where lawyers are tortured. Maybe that's irrelevant for now. I'm dealing with Mary, and I'm dealing with your other client, Hopo Chingono, who advised the Ministry of Defense to go after Mary to finish her off and other victims of violence. Two people of your clients, how you are treating this young lady who no longer has an arm and no longer has a leg. Beatrice, where is your logic after receiving so much money? Hmm? Why do you deceive Mary that something is going to happen through the courts when there's so many ways? We have worked with so many lawyers who are in exactly the same situation as Mary. Lawyers who have successfully, I can even declare some examples here. It's just that for confidentiality I won't. But Zimbabweans, you know them. You are in the community, you know these lawyers. You contact a lawyer, you tell them, look, I'm having a problem with my divorce, I'm having a problem with this. The lawyer will tell you, no, at the courts, there won't be justice. You won't make it. Let's do it this way. Let's contact this journalist. Let's contact this one. Let's contact an investigator. Let's do it outside of the courts. That's what lawyers do. Lawyers don't just use courts, they use avenues that are legal, of course. And legal doesn't necessarily mean court. Why are you chopping down Mary's money while her body is being chopped down? Beatrice, why are you doing this? Hmm? And I know the leadership of this country who are from the military, these are things that they cannot concentrate because they are military, they are soldiers. So they'll just watch you and just watch you to go on. But we will question you. We will investigate you. The community will investigate you. You're taking advantage of the fact that the leadership of this country are soldiers, so they don't always think as fast. They don't always scrutinize things. But people will know you, Beatrice, very soon. They shall know you, who you are inside. Zviri mukati mako iwe Beatrice. Watora mazimari iwawo. Chiti ndiri kuita human rights lawyering. Wakuda kuopresa Mary. And you know that the person who is going to be affected here is not just Mary. It's Constantino Chiwenga. It's the people. There are so many other people. Unonyarara, Beatrice. What type of a lawyer are you? And this, if I am dreaming, Zimbabweans, why is Beatrice avoiding my calls? Avoiding my calls Saturday. And why is she boasting and bragging to Mary Chiwenga's family, saying, hey, Simbachikanza is calling me. I won't even pick up the phone. Hey, what? I'm calling you because you used my name. Wakashandisa star rangu iwewe. Ukati iwewe kune family yana mbaiwa. You told them that you are not happy, that you even said, yeah, Simbachikanza is, you've done an interview with Simbachikanza, so I'm going to disconnect your case. And you know why I contacted Mary? It's because I want to expose Amazon and Auxillia, who are exposed in the gold mafia, who are exposed also on the 14th of May 2022. You saw it. And you know that Auxilia could not put her phone down. Why could she not put her phone down? It's because of the truth that I have. And you actually know that Mary is even way smarter than Auxilia. Like right now, if Mary was a reckless Beatrice, you must apologize. I'm telling you, indauno apologize kuna Mary Beatrice. Ukasaregera ndichavhura mafaira ako, ndichavhura maprogram panapa, ndichamavhura maprogram evanhu vakawanda clients ako vane nyaya dzavo dzavari kucomplaina. Tanga tingokunyara all this while because tinenge tisingade atidi kuita this time. This is too clear. You are harassing Mary. Uchimiti iwe Mary wakataura na Simbachikanza. You know that it took 3 years for me to get this video call with Mary. And yet it took, how long did it take me to get to Auxillia? Auxillia, it was easy peasy. I spoke with Auxillia for over 35 minutes. Achidedera, all that, and Zimbabweans saw that. So how do you accuse Mary? You want Mary to behave way better than what she has done, where she has actually shown that she's even more withdrawn than Auxilia. Auxilia anotya because ane mhosva yaari kuita, yaari kuopresa Mary, yaari kubuilda mhosva so that she can accuse Constantino Chiwenga. And you're okay with that, and accuse the people of Zimbabwe. You're okay with that because you take advantage of the fact that Zimbabwe is run by the military, people who are from the military, so they don't scrutinize you because lawyer, if you go there and you talk your English, and you talk in the nose, then they'll just let you off. But isusu tinorivhila manje, tinoburitsa mavhiri, tiri kuzviburitsa. I didn't want to do this, folks. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that the person who is covering up this truth that Zimbabweans needed to know about Auxillia, where they created this whole case to falsely accuse Mary, falsely accuse Chiwenga, and make both of them to hate each other. All this, the person who is doing it is none other than Beatrice Mtetwa. How do you do that? Where are emotions? My emotions are kupi. Don't you have kids? Mary hasn't seen her kids for 6 years, and you want to spend. You're okay with Mary spending now. She has spent 6 years, and you are lying to her that you're going to have a breakthrough in court. You know that these courts will not give a breakthrough. The courts just want her to die. without the truth being known. You know that. So you're okay with chopping Mary's money while her body is being chopped. Zimbabweans, you need to save this video. Share this video. You need to know who Beatrice Mtetwa is. These people, as you know, this is about accountability. This is too vivid. It's too clear. How do you avoid this? How do you sleep at night? I couldn't sleep at night. 6 years ago, I couldn't sleep at night. I called Constantino Chiwenga. Ndakafonera VP. It's not that I disrespect him. I called him because, you know what? I could see where things are going. I could see that Mnangagwa, they're building this case to destroy him. And I told him, you saw my recordings, I told him, vachiwenga gadzirisai nyaya iyi, haina kumira zvakanaka. Ba, iye Auxillia futi ndakamufonera naEmerson, ndakavaudza gadzisai nyaya inomira zvakanaka. Ndopandabva pabuda chokwadi kuti vari kubuilda case. Auxillia ndichitaura naye achidedera pavidhio call yangu, akatadza munhu womusiteni, akatadza kudzima foni yake, kutadza kuidzima. Achitaura kuti usandituke chikanza, unogara zvimwe ndituka chikanza. For over 28 times in 35 minutes, akataura 27 times, usandituke, don't curse me. Why was she afraid? When my only inquiry was on Mary Chiwenga, my main preoccupation was on Mary. Why was she afraid? And that should tell you, that should tell any lawyer, your Beatrice, that should tell you your common sense, unless you are paid by Emerson, which now I'm now starting to believe that you are paid. Am I wrong now to believe that you're paid? Because this is common sense. Kuti pakagadzirwa nyaya panapa, so that Chiwenga would accuse Mary, and then Mary obviously at the end, Mary also accused of Chiwenga, and then both of them, their career, their lives end while accusing each other, and they never become leaders of this country. And then Emerson, you are here. I know Emerson will be watching my video. Iwo Emerson, wakarambidza Mary kuenda kuChina kunorapa iwo Emerson. Ndoda kuzodza vanageza, ndoda kuvapa mavideo, ndoda kuvapa evidence yacho. Emerson Mnangagwa, ndiri kuipa kuna Geza izvozvo, ndatokanganwa. Ndiri kuzomupa izvozvi, ndiri kuvapa macustodians venyika. Kuti Emerson, iwewe wakaplana iwewe kuseparata Mary naChiwenga, ukagadzira manyepo. Ukaudza Mary iwewe vari kuSouth Africa, ukamuti siyai Chiwenga aende kuChina, aende ikoko hanzi ukaudza iwewe Mary kuti kumilitary hospital kuri kuenda Chiwenga unorambidzwa. Aigorambidzwa sei iye ari mukadzi wa military general wacho, and iye achirwara of the same condition? Wakamurambidzirei? Why did you separate both of them? Why do you separate them? Why did you do that? Ukabva waudza Mary iwewo Emerson kuti Mary dzoka kuZimbabwe, Emerson murume wako aende kuChina. Uchibva ipapo ukabva watuma iwewe, ukatuma Mini Baloyi kuti Mini enda kuChina. Ukatuma after that ukatuma 4 varume, 4 men kuenda kuChina. Iwewe Emerson, ndiri kuzviburitsa. Tapa period yekuti geze nyika. Unozviziva Emerson, and ndichaburitsa mafaira ese, zvese zvekuspecial branch ndinazvo. Because inini Emerson, unozviziva iwe kuti ndakaspenda 14 years ndinawo vana Dan Standard, tichitaura tese, tichidya mameals, ndinawo mafaira acho, zvese marecord, zvese nemarecording ndinazvo. Ndiri kuzviburitsa, ndiri kuvapa vanageza kuti faira ripere iri. Ukati iwewe the same way yawakapedza maleaders ese mamwe ese ekuzanu, uda kuzopedza Chiwenga, uda kumuseparata the same way yawakaseparata Lane Mojongwe nemukadzi wake. Uda kuti iwo vapesane. Ndiri kuzozvifumura. and then Zimbabweans vachabva vaita mates dzavo voziva kuti ava na Beatrice vanopinda papi. MaZimbabweans vachabva vaziva. Apa period yanageza inini hangu I've never been in ZANU, I've never been in the system, but somehow basa rangu riri kungolinkawo nezvanageza nezvekugezawo zvo, saka ndirongotiwo geza, ndirongoburitsawo evidence yangu yese, ndongoti gezai nyika vakomana, igezei nyika, nyika ichene. I'm not saying vana Chiwenga they are perfect, I'm not saying the vana Geza they are perfect, but there's always somewhere to start, there's always a zero. Anditika yekuti munonge makuta munhu pamunotangira. And certainly iwo Emerson waita basa rekungoseparata vanhu, uchinyepera vanhu, unogadzira manyepo, wagadzira manyepo iwewe kuitira kuti Mary aseparate, kuitira kuti Chiwenga accuser. Wakazviona iwo kuti Chiwenga was he was in a state of weakness. Like so many other men are also in a state of weakness. Ukabva wati ndiite kuti chisenyara ichona chibude chakadai, azova discredited kumberi uko. Auxillia akafonera Mary muna December, saka takanga ipapo kutanga kufonera Mary kuda kumufurira. Apa makamusiya makore asa 6 years. Makamusiya musina basa naye. 3 years ago ndakakufonera iwo, ukabva watanga kutaura kuti Chikanza usandituke Chikanza, usandituke. Ukabva watuma vana Hope Ching'ono kuti vandithreaten kuti ndidelete matweets angu, zvese ndiri kuzvifumura. Auxillia na Benson, anonzani Benson Munere ndizvo, Benson Munere shamwari yaHope vari tu kuti vandiudze kuti uchasungwa kuUK ikoko, wazodai manje iko zvino right now tiri kumaZimbabweans tiri kuvapa evidence yacho yeseyo. Uri kuda kuti iwewe uonekwe senge ndiwe uri smart, ndiwe wega unogona kutonga nyika. Zvino manje sekuona kwangu inini Chiwenga wacho naye wamuri kushora wacho naye muchatozongoshamisika ka akutozongoiranawo nyika yacho. I'm not saying handisi kuti ari perfect, but I don't think kuti Chiwenga would be as horrible as you, Emerson. Wapesanisa nyika, kunyepa, tumira zvivanhu zvako uchida kungopesanisa mafamily zvawakadzidziswa nana Dan Standard. I've got respect for Dan Standard for one thing at least, aitaura chokwadi. Yes, anga ari mabasa erima yako, but aitaura chokwadi, aizochiburitsa obva atozoratidza, because akaona iwo Emerson kuti uri nhundira mutsime yemunhu kubvira musina 1980 after independence, pawakarova that man in front of the prime minister. Dan Standard ariko, ndiri kumaburitsa mafaira acho kuti maZimbabweans vaone vazvizive, ndiri kumaburitsa madocuments. I've been talking nemacomrades angu achinoza kuti kosimba katori simba kungotora handinawo mafaira, but there's just too many. Akawandisa mafaira, saka ndiri kumabatanidza ndotomaita novel, ndotoriita big volume. MaZimbabweans munofanira kuziva nyika yenyu. Zimbabwe is too rich. It is too rich. It's a rich country. It's an amazing country. But system rero ndicha special branch ranga deploya vanhu vari dubious characters vakaita sana Emerson ivavo, nembavha dzakaita savana Hope kuti vangokoza confusion. Musaka muri kuona so una vachingomira semweya yechina pese vachida senge vari kubatsira vanhu. Zvino tiri kuzongozvifumura zvese kuti maZimbabweans muzvizive. Iye yuyu Beatrice uyu anga achizviziva iko zvino right now ari kutreata Mary like a piece of kutreata Mary like an animal. Amai of six kids unomuthreatena iwewe, unomuudza kuti usataure, hanzi omuudza kuti iwewe kuti ndakuzodisconnecta agency yangu, ndakudisconnecta maservices angu because waita interview naSimba Chikanza. Inofumura Auxillia. ndiri kuzozviburitsa, ndinawo marecordings acho, ndiri kuzozviburitsa maZimbabweans mumuzive Beatrice uyu. Kana akapiwa mari yachona ichazikanwa. Handiti mabank account anoauditwa anotarisika. Motomhanya asikana naBeatrice kudhirita, motomhanya motomhanya kumabhenga kunodhirira zvese izvi, tiri kuzozviburitsa zvese. Ende dhuze uchandiona ndiri muHarare imomo, Beatrice, unofunga kuti handigone kuuya kuZimbabwe? Pauchandiona ipapo, if it means kuti ndofanira kutopinda muHarare kuti ndikuexpose Beatrice nabi yako vari kuopresa mudzimai waConstantino, ndinomupinda muHarare umu. Some Zimbabweans, spending 6 years and something as simple as this could have easily been exposed if certain people who are key, the people who are key to this case, if they were just caring enough. And then, you spend 6 years fighting. And after the 6 years, even when things are now getting clear that Mnangagwa is not having his way, Beatrice is still there. People like Beatrice, who have got legal awards and the like, human rights awards, they don't play their part to expose the abuse of another human being, another female, another mother. Are you made of steel? And I'll ask you, it's the same question that I asked Auxillia. Are you made of steel, Beatrice? Do you think that you own your legal practice? Do you think that you own the money that you have put in your bank account? Do you think that you own that you're okay for someone else, for someone else's mother to be subjected to this treatment? Roko rese rakabviswa, gumbo rakabviswa, and you phone Mary to harass her up to the point when she ends up getting into bed like this. Imagine, Beatrice, what you're seeing there in this picture here that I've put on video here. Those on space, you won't be able to see this, but I think I can also even bring it up here. I think I can bring up the video here. Right, I've put up here. What you're seeing there in that picture, my own eye picture you, those on space, is what Beatrice has subjected Mary Chiwenga to. Muchadzidza maZimbabweans. Muchadzidza. You shall learn a lot of things. Hanzi tichaziva zvinhu zvakawanda. Nonzi chiine shona zviya. Ian Piri saying nyaya ngadzibude. Ndiri kudziburitsa nyaya idzi. Vana sinyoro vaitomboduza vakati sinyoro vanobva vatanga kutaura manje isusu mai tinozoburitsa ndakutozoburitsa nemadocuments chaiwo ende not kuti ndiri kuto I'm almost there. I've already put them together. That's why I did that interview. The reason why I did that interview, why I did that video call here, which I then turned into an interview, right, was to show the truth. I'm an investigator. I want people to know the truth. I was trained to investigate wrongdoing right from the bottom, so that everything is known. Even things that are going to happen 10 years later must be known today. And Zimbabweans, do you know what? Zimbabweans, what Vana Beatrice, they will tell you, oh, Simba is a journalist. They know my background. They know I set up the risk management, auditing, and accounting systems for Zimnat Lion in 2003 at the age of 23 years, 23, 24 years. I set up the same systems for Botswana Insurance and Lion of Uganda. So my expertise on gathering evidence, putting together accountability evidence, particularly we're talking here financial data. That is my commitment. And that is what the Zimbabwean people could benefit from me. And so when people look at me right now, right, that's how I did Gold Mafia. The evidence I had on Gold Mafia, it was not new. A lot of it was not new. But when I handled it and I started looking at it this way, examining, and the way I did, and that is what made. It's the same thing that I've done on so many others. What I did on Maxwell Chikumbutso, what I've done on so many others. And that's the reason why Auxillia Mnangagwa cannot put her phone down. Because when he hears the single question that I ask her, it's a question that is loaded with data. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try. And I'm trying and help even lawyers to do the same. If even lawyers could copy the way I do it. When I called Edgar Lungu, when he was the president of Zambia and he was about to kill people, go and check my question. Go and read. I asked him a single sentence. The sentence, that sentence that I asked him, he could not put the phone down. That sentence arrested him. That single question. Do you know how it took me to assemble that single? How many years it took me to assemble that sentence? It took me 3 years to just build that sentence. I hired lawyers in Europe. I had lawyers in UK, the best cream of the crop, to help to build that sentence. That is how far I researched. I'm not a lawyer, but this kind of studying, so that when I make the next conversation, when I'm talking to Signor, when I'm talking to Nyasha here, I need to bring a breakthrough for Nyasha. I need to change Nyasa's life. That's why some Zimbabweans have even called me Chanda Gwinyira and say, why are you like this? Why are you talking about this person? It's because I try. Saka, that is my and those are the kind of services that lawyers and the community could benefit from. But quickly, let me just end here. I've put my statement, folks. In Zwaima Zimbabweans, lawyers that we know. I've got some journalists here who can attest to this. They do not pursue just the courts. If you go to a lawyer and they will tell you that, oh, okay, we'll go to the High Court, and that's where the only thing that they will tell you, that lawyer most likely is just someone who is after your money. But lawyers that we know, you know what they do? They will give you 6-10 different scenarios. If we pursue the magistrate's court, this will be the outcome, and this is how we're going to investigate it. If we go to the High Court, if we fail, then we'll do an appeal. But do you know what? There is a challenge here in that your evidence, you only have a quarter of the evidence. And so, in our view, let us pursue it in a different way. We're not going to use the courts. We're just going to use subpoenas, or we're going to use just investigators. They will tell you, real lawyers, just investigators. They can even tell you, we are going to use my journalists. I've got some journalists here, they will tell you, how many lawyers have approached you? Silence. I'm sure you can tell me, how many lawyers have approached you? Can you publish this story? Can you publish this story? After that, they will go away because they know if you go to the High Court, you will lose. But they know that if just a single publishing, it will fix your matter. So why should you go to the courts? Eh? If just publishing is enough, or if confronting someone is enough, why should you do that? Why should you be taking money from your client when you know that it's not going to work at the end? Lawyers can even tell you, do you know what? I'm just going to write a single paragraph for you. And this paragraph, it will be a demand for a response. And and that's it. There's nothing else. Hasta la vista, goodbye, and that's it. And after that, maybe you've just paid $200 only. That's it. Not kwenda kwa Samkange or kwana Beatrice charge man. Beatrice, I understand she charges 350 US an hour or something like that. No, that's it. That's enough. Real lawyers, that's what they do. They're not after your money. They're after helping you, not to chop your money, not to chop your body, like what they've done on Mary now. Mary's money has been chopped, including her body. Lawyers don't do that. Real lawyers, but Ziva Isus. And I'll give you an example quickly. There's a lawyer in the UK called Sue Williams. Oh my God, I love this lawyer. I love this lady to bits, right? In 2019, Zimbabweans were following me. She's one of the lawyers that I approached because I saw an article in the news that she managed to secure prosecution against the Prince of Bahrain. So this is someone who is like head of state or deputy head of state for Bahrain, right? Over war crimes. And so an asylum seeker had hired her and for peanuts. Actually, you know what, she actually won a big case against a billionaire, right? For peanuts. She was paid peanuts, just a few thousands, I'll say it, right? But she was so committed, she wouldn't get filthy money, she wouldn't get even the money. I mean, but some of these lawyers, do you know what they do? When they take your money, you pay them 2,000, 3,000, they'll go and they'll get 3 million from the person that you're suing. And then they'll start pretending, they'll start going into court and start pretending like they're doing something. In March, in April, they'll be like, and they'll go and scream, they can even cry in court, and things are just dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging. At the end, nothing happens and you lose your money. Why? Because the 3,000 you paid, there was a higher bidder. Someone else paid 2-3 million. Unethical. So some lawyers do that. It's true. It's a fact. So what I love about Sue William, you can Google a case. She managed to secure the prosecution of the Prince of Bahrain. Oh my God, she's an amazing solicitor based in London, and there are several others who work with her. And we brought her on Zimai, August 2020 it was, and they came and they did a program in August to try and help victims of the atrocities, the victims that Opo Chingono worked to ensure that the soldiers would be deployed on them. But so she came with an army of lawyers, of solicitors, and we did a program here. We also had Dewama Finger was there. That was in 2020 or 2021 it was. And do you know that lady, hear me, Zimbabweans, if I tell you how much money we paid her, you'll be shocked. But the things that she did. And after that, she told me, do you know what, going to court is not going to really. Do you know what she actually said? Let's do programs on Zimai to help victims of violence. Number two, what we're going to do, let's try sanctions. This is what she told me. We're just going to try and pull up a bill for sanctions. I was like, huh? I thought you're going to prosecute. She just said no. And I'm like, I didn't know. That's when I started that's when my mind started thinking, okay, so actually sanctions it's actually a legal way of stopping someone. I didn't know. So that's what lawyers do. Lawyers explore. Real lawyers, they explore, and they're not after your money. So she's one of the lawyers that I hired over the years, and these lawyers helped me to build this vocabulary. That when I eventually asked the president of Zambia, the spokesman could not put the phone down. I was now more than a lawyer. I was now more than 10 lawyers, now more than 20 lawyers. One single young man, Anema Bori, Ane hope, sleepy, slopy eyes. But that morning, I was more powerful than an army of lawyers, such that I stopped a whole president from killing the people of Zambia and helped 18 million citizens cross over. Why? Because they are lawyers. These were lawyers whose commitment was not to chop my money. It was to help community and save lives. What is Beatrice? Why is Beatrice Mtetwa doing this? I put the statement there. Go on our portals on ZimEye. You can read it, folks. Ndidzo namo dzachona idzi dziri kuitika idzi. But hear me. Emerson Mnangagwa special branch operations ndiri kumafumura ese kana muchida madhocuments achina munhu ndokuratidza izvozvi. So momaona, listen to me Zimbabweans, tiri kuzozvifumura, ende munhu wese ari kushanda naEmerson ndo vanhu ivavava. Do you know? And you know what? Today I will tell you Zimbabweans, I had to even warn Comrade Geza kuti makahaya Mai Mtetwa, look at what she has done. I told her today, I told him that when I be careful of this lady, this is who she is. I was waiting because I'd been waiting since Saturday because I thought maybe she's going to contact me. Now, when I discovered today that all she wanted was oppressing Mary, was tormenting Mary, and she could easily, any time from now, disconnect Mary's case. And if she does that, Zimbabweans, I'm asking you, please, save $10. Let's put together some money and help Mary. I will tell you what, you might think that Mary has got a lot of money. Mary has lost almost everything. They have taken almost everything. Zimbabweans, as you can see, in as much as they've taken away, hear me, her arm and everything, but they've also stripped her estate. There's something about Mary's case that is central to this Geza thing. I think we can now see it's about washing the country. Mnangagwa built this case, Mary, he built this Mary case so that he could stop the Geza movement. But Ivanyangira yaona, takaona from afar. Indakavaona 6 years ago, ndakati ndikuvasona, ndikati ndiri kuzonyora manodzi, ndiri kuzodai, ndiri kuzobatanidza zvese, ndiri kuzozvifumura, ndiri kuzodzifambira, as they say, nyayadzi. Someone is saying, Hanzi Inga General said Mary General is vakataura medical bills, not my legal bills, isn't it? Right. So Zimbabweans, hey, I just don't know. I just had to share this. And my heart is bleeding. Moyo wangu uri kubleeda. Manero ano nemashura andaitirwa na Beatrice Mtetwa. Mashura kuti uri kutofara iwo kuti mhosva kuti Chiwenga adzikiswa. Manje ndiri kuvapa mafaira ako Beatrice, vakuzive kuti ndozvauri pauri kudya mari yake mari yavo ipapapa, iwewe ndipo pauri kutomira uchimudestroya, uchidestroya both, which you're okay, or at least you're okay. Let me be very careful here. Let me just say you're okay. You are okay for Chiwenga to be accused of things that he hasn't done. Folks, here we are. I'm going to need to cut on those on the space, because what has happened is I had to just offload this. Please read the statement that I've done there, and please ask, if you are very close to Beatrice, ask her to stop what she's doing, ask her to address this, because yeah, this is not just about Mary. This is about the people of Zimbabwe. This is a case that if she had done her bit, Dayakaita her bit, yeah, Beatrice, Zimbabweans would have known more. You'd have known more about Auxilia Mnangagwa. The little that you now know about what Auxilia has been trying to do with abusing Mary is because of me. Basarandaita. Eh, mm. Shama, someone is saying, I thought she said she did lots of work for Mary for free for Mary's case. How much for free? Kana anga achitaura izvozvo, how much for free? And kuri kunzi anga achizviita, let's just assume she never got a penny. Nyasha. Let's just assume she never got a penny. Does that justify you allowing Auxilia to have her way? Does that justify? Mm. Alex Hove is saying, um, in other words, Simba, in other words, are you saying Beatrice is working hand in hand with Mnangagwa's family? What I have evidence for is that Beatrice is factually working to the benefit of Mnangagwa's family. So I want to be very factual there so that you know I have evidence that Beatrice is working to benefit Mnangagwa's family. When she knows her actions do benefit Mnangagwa's family. I know in response, she's probably going to say, well, it's a coincidence. That wasn't my intention. So why are you allowing it to happen? Why, if that is not your intention, why are you allowing it? Why are you oppressing Mary when you know that the person who is benefiting is Mnangagwa's family? Hmm? Why are you doing it then, Beatrice? Let's just assume that is just coincidence, Beatrice. So why are you doing it? You know that the people of Zimbabwe are going to be in a worse situation than those of your country, Swaziland, where you come from. Unless if you don't care about Ama Zimbabweans because you're not Zimbabwean. All you're after is money, unless if you're like that. Why are you doing it when you know that Mnangagwa's family are the only people who are going to benefit and his cronies, the weaknels and the like? How do you separate yourself from those people those lawyers who benefit from the suffering of the masses? How do you separate, Beatrice? How do you separate yourself? So that is what it is. Ndikukudza emaZimbabweans. Ndini ndakachifumura chinhu ichi, ndakachifambira chinhu, ndakadzifambira nyaya idzi for 6 years until I discovered this is the cover up and this is what Auxilia is doing. And the person who is fighting me is none other than Beatrice Mtetwa. Person who is threatening Mary Chiwenga that I should delete my video that exposes Auxillia Mnangagwa. Otherwise, she's going to disconnect her legal services. He is none other than Beatrice Mtetwa. So maybe she's clean, maybe she's off, but she's doing it. Maybe all this is it's just coincidence that things just flowed like this in this direction, and maybe one day she's going to change. But she is doing it when she knows that Emerson and Auxilia benefit. She knows that if I delete my video of Mary, it is Emerson and Auxilia and her cronies who are going to benefit. So what's her agenda? Where does she stand? Human rights lawyer, award winning. And Zimbabweans, what's her agenda in withholding my video that I exposed another character on Mary Chiwenga's case that I did some time ago? What's her agenda? What's her agenda in treating me like a competitor when for the last 6 years, everything I've done has benefited her work, is there to strengthen her work. For no payment. I've done this for no payment. It's my own investigatory investment that I've put in here to expose Auxillia and Emerson in the last 6 years. Why is she against? What really is irritating her? What's irritating you, Beatrice? Why can't you call me Beatrice? Utadzire kundifonera. I'm going to have to, maybe I should use your language, your Swazi language, to ask you. Why can't you just call me and clarify if there is a clarification to make? It's very possible that there's a clarification to make. Maybe it's very possible that there's a mistake that has happened, a misunderstanding that has happened between you and I, or you and Mary, and you and Mary's family. Why are you doing it then? Why are you causing suffering on another woman who is a mother? Why is it that you have never called even to push like all other lawyers do, to contact media companies and other mediatory tools that are there? It's a fact that the media are an arm of the state. It's a fact. The media are not small. Media, Penzama Sports. So why are you fighting media that is working to help Mary? Why is it that you never confronted Christopher Mnangagwa? You never even sent him even anything, a message, nothing. Maybe you did reveal. But if you did, you would have respected what I did last week. How would you have fought what I did last week? Nai Beatrice Mtetwa. Zvino manje kana makadla mari ka tichakuzivai, muchaziviwa. People will know you, Beatrice. Vachakuziva. There's nothing that you can hide. And I am aware, by the way, Beatrice, that there are a lot of my clients who are complaining. It's not for me to do that. The Mary one here, I've had to come in because you know that the nation, their welfare, their future is at stake. Folks, yeah, I feel heavy. Yeah. Heavy heart. Yeah. Senor, I feel like just ending the live. I just ndadzangopere wine. Kuti ndonyaya yacho maZimbabweans. Zivai vana zvigananda hazvisi havasi vana weakenero chete. Zviriko zvigananda kuma lawyer uko. Zvigananda zviriko nekuma lawyer, as you can see. Lawyers who are zviganandas. Also. Yeah. I'm gonna need to go, folks. Yeah. Gonna need to go.
Geza, Zimai, Geza, Tasbitwa kumangumo Hekutambutwa na eman song Moni emanyati Tasbitwa kumangumo Hekutambutwa na eman song Moni emanyati